connected.
Yay! I always love when that happens.
Right? I feel like I'm supposed to scream.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, hanging in there.
Yeah, I'm
So,
watching the
yes,
storm.
so welcome. My name's Jacqueline Valdez. We are on Elegant Conversation with Jacqueline Valdez. And our next guest is Shannon Burrows. And I'm so excited to have you here. We are going to be talking about cancer survivors and then how you help them recover and get well through fitness and wellness and all that good stuff.
All that good stuff.
Yes,
Well, thank you for having me.
of
Yeah,
course.
Shannon Burrows. I am a fitness professional specializing in cancer exercise.
Okay.
I actually am a 3-year survivor. So that's how I know
Wow.
that.
Okay.
And so through my surgeries and my recovery, I pretty much said to myself, how on earth am I going to continue on my career in
Wow.
fitness trainer? Because
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything. I couldn't lift my arms. I wasn't going to be able to train anybody. So I decided
Wow.
to take the proactive route and figure out how I could help myself and then
Right.
help other cancer people on their journey as well. So I
Oh,
found
that's so exciting.
yeah, very exciting. So
Yeah.
I took my month off after my double mastectomy and
Okay.
studied hard and learned everything I could possibly learn to try to get back and be proactive and try
Nice.
to take a different avenue with my fitness career. So
Right.
that was me realizing that my purpose and my passion have collided, and I was okay with, not happy that I had breast cancer, but I'm
Right.
happy with, the people I've met along the way, the journey, the
Yes.
experiences, and the fact that I can actually help more people in a certain niche right now. And
Yes.
it's a bond, we just build a bond with one another. We call each other breasties.
Oh.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
truly want to be able to educate, inform, empower, and inspire other breast cancer patients, survivors,
Yes.
be able to help the caregivers, work with them as well.
Yeah, it's definitely, like you said, the caregivers too, and the loved ones. It's definitely hard for everyone.
It is.
Yeah.
And I myself am very strong-willed and stubborn. So if you ask me if I need help, I will probably tell you no.
Yeah.
But if you tell me no, it frustrates me because I want to be able to help everybody. So
Yeah.
that was a learning curve for myself.
Right.
And my family as well. I definitely had to sit there and be like, okay, I need help. And,
Right.
whether it's doing wall walks or whether it's, just, trying to keep my head in the game, because realistically,
Right.
it's not just about physical, it's about your emotions and mentally as well, because, it takes you for a loop for sure.
So when you discovered and you got diagnosed, what did you do to, I guess, mentally prepare yourself? Is there a tip that you could give someone when they first are informed?
When you first get diagnosed, you mean?
Yeah.
So for me personally, this is not everybody
Right.
obviously is different, but if there's a problem, what's the solution? Let's go. 3, 2, 1,
Okay.
let's go. So for me, that was okay. Like, there's a problem, and I'm grateful
Right.
that my diagnosis was caught early.
Right.
I ended up with a double mastectomy. I didn't have to go through a lot of the treatments that a lot of other breast cancer patients do. So I am
Right.
grateful for that. But I was definitely on the proactive side of, okay, there's a problem. What's the solution? 3, 2, 1, let's go. Like, I want to know everything I possibly can.
Right.
And I'm grateful that I had an amazing plastic surgeon. My second one, I fired my first one. Because while I was going through my certification,
Right.
I was able to ask him all the questions that I had in regards to, like the muscles and why are you having me not do this?
Right.
And I think it's really important because at the end of the day, a lot of what happens is a lot of breast cancer patients get released from their doctor, whether it's their general surgeon, their plastic surgeon, whatever, and then they're off to be doing whatever, and they don't realize they actually could be doing more harm than good. So
Right.
thankfully, my doctor is very knowledgeable in exercise science, and I was able to really communicate with him. And so I work closely in regards to my own recovery, and then
Right.
those other breast cancer patients as well. But realistically, lymphedema is one of the biggest things that breast cancer patients need to worry about.
Right.
And the majority of doctors don't even talk to their patients about it.
Wow.
Yeah, a patient will say, okay, am I good to go? Am I clear to exercise?
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, great. But then what?
Right.
So the average person is going to go back to doing workouts that they could before.
Yeah.
They actually are doing
And they
more
have no
harm.
idea.
Yep. They're going to go to a gym and think they can do whatever. They're going to maybe go to a personal trainer. That personal trainer doesn't know the specifics behind surgery. So being qualified as a cancer exercise specialist, we have to learn medications, the different surgeries, what's going to happen, what muscles are going to be used, what's going to be worked. Like I can never do push-ups again. Like that's just not in my wheelhouse anymore because
Right.
you don't need to work chest muscles. So it's a
But
lot
you
of
can
work.
do other stuff. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
guess it's just really important for people to know, for people that are dealing with cancer or any illness, that you really need to research medical sites, research good doctors, and really talk with your doctor, ask questions. Don't be afraid to reach out to your doctor or to specialists. And before you get into a specific workout routine, really make sure your trainer knows what you've been through and what medicines you're taking.
Absolutely. Because,
Yeah.
you risk the lymphedema, you're going to
Yeah.
go through, your chemo and your other treatments, and you're going to be exhausted.
Right.
And, where the average, patient is going to say, well, I'm too tired to work out, which
Yeah.
that's when you should be working out. Now, I don't mean working out as in like, go do like a 30-minute camp. I mean, just like get up and walk. And, even if that's listen, I'm going to be on the phone or FaceTime or whatever with you, and we're just going to walk up 2 stairs, or we're going to walk the couch to the kitchen, and we might do it 10 times throughout the day.
Right.
But something to make you feel like you have achieved something. So you're not so defeated and feeling like, just the world is laying on your shoulders. So just a little, the things to get you through each day, honestly, it's just a one day at a time thing, and the little achievements get you through the day.
Yeah, that's so true. And I feel like that's a good point that you made, is a lot of people feel like they have to do so much or it doesn't count. So it's like little stuff that you said makes a difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I deal with fibro and Sjogren's, and there's some days where I just cannot get off the couch, and then some days I'm like gung-ho because I do aerial dancing too.
Fun.
And I'm all over the place. So it's like you have to listen to your body, and if you can't move those days and you feel down mentally, physically, just to stretch or, hug your legs, something, or just take a walk outside, just down the driveway, back in.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Get that vitamin D.
Yes, vitamin D, yes. I just started vitamin D drops because actually some blood work said that I was deficient.
Do you know that is quite the common deficiency?
Yes. That's kind of crazy. I've been learning and researching a lot too lately. Yeah. So as far as like diet and stuff, what do you do diet-wise? Did you make any changes with your lifestyle as far as that type of thing?
So as a fitness professional, technically, I am not allowed to give you a nutrition protocol per se.
Right. But what you have?
For me personally, I've always, for probably the last 6 years, I've always done like a high fat, low carb.
Okay.
I don't like using, oh, I'm keto, or I don't like people labeling themselves like, oh, I'm keto, I'm paleo, I'm vegetarian. Yeah. It's like, okay, I eat meat and vegetables. I just take out the starches. I take out the carbs. I don't eat breads. I don't, stay away from the sugars, except for I like my wine. And, realistically, at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to give up my wine, because here's the thing. I give up everything else. I've been in fitness for quite some time, and, I watch everything else that I do. So for me, it was focusing on what's going to fuel my body, and I'd rather fuel it with the healthier fats than with carbohydrates or sugar. So
Right. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm trying to cut down my carbs and my sugars.
Yeah,
I go back and forth, vegan, vegetarian, and I'm realizing that I need to cut down for my lifestyle.
Yeah. So whenever I try to talk to clients about nutrition, or try to gear them, like, think of yourself as a Porsche or a Corvette or whatever car you want to be, a Lamborghini.
Right.
Like, you're either going to fuel it with unleaded, or you're going to fuel it with premium, right?
Right.
So at the end of the day, sorry, I just got a notification. At the end of the day, you're probably going to want to put premium in there, right? Well, that's going to be your healthy fats. Your unleaded is going to be your carbohydrates, sugars, processed foods, and things like that.
I love it.
You can't put the unleaded into the car and expect that nice Lamborghini to run properly. True. Just like you can't put both of them in there together and expect it to run properly. So you can't combine the healthy fats and try to fuel, because what's going to happen is your body's going to go ahead and they're going to store the healthy fat that you actually want to be burning through, and then go to the carbohydrates first, which is just going to keep storing the fat. So it's kind of like once you, like, you have to find out whatever way is going to work for you to like have it register and like stick with you and be like, right, okay, that makes sense. Right. But, and again, at the end of the day, it's especially with, cancer patients, you have to really find yourself a oncology nutritionist. And I actually have one tomorrow that I'm going to be hopefully working with that I can refer clients.
Nice.
Because yeah, it's super important because everybody's different. You know, you may have underlying health conditions as well. So my way of eating is not going to be good for everybody, you know?
Yeah,
So
that's so true. Everyone has a different body.
Yep. You know, whether you're diabetic, you can't tell somebody to go do a high fat, low carb if they're kind of diabetic. That's not going to happen. If they don't have a gallbladder, if they've had their gallbladder removed, I can't tell them they can't process fat. So again, it's super important, you know, just stick to the basics of like, you know, what's good for your body, protein and veggies.
Yeah. And I'm a huge believer in listening to your body.
Yes.
I feel like people need to get more in tune with really listening and figuring out. And I think your body speaks to you too. It's just, you have to kind of find those times and listen.
Absolutely. And I'm a huge proponent. I've been doing intermittent fasting for, God, probably 8 years.
Wow.
8 years. Yeah. And it's just a way of life for me. And honestly, it makes life so much easier. Like I don't have to eat as much. I eat in my window. And I'm fueling on proteins, healthy fats, and so I stay satiated. So the fasting window is no big deal. And the majority of the time that you're sleeping in that anyway.
Yeah.
So it helps to regenerate your cells and get your cells, you know, back on track. Really good for, you know, cancer and any other underlying health conditions as well.
I have a good friend who he actually does the intermittent fasting, and he eats once a day. And he looks amazing. He's healthier than ever. He's actually a cancer survivor also. So yeah, so it's kind of been intriguing to me. So I've been thinking about it, you know, more and more, and like, do I want to try this? I don't know.
Actually, we'll have more energy.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from quite a few people. Yeah,
he eats once a day. I eat twice a day. So, but imagine like your body every time you eat, your body's having to work to process to digest those foods.
That's true. That's true. Do you ever do like smoothies and stuff in between?
No, I'm never hungry. Honestly, there's times that I'm like, I have to eat. I'm sorry, my dog just decided to run.
Hello, dog. We love little sneak appearances.
She's like, I want to sit behind you.
I know, cute. Wow. So how have you been keeping yourself, I guess, busy and centered during this whole quarantine period?
So I have no problem working out on my own. My biggest challenge is trying to get other cancer patients to get that motivation, because a lot of times face-to-face is the best for, you know, most people. I'm actually starting this month. I'm starting to finally realize that COVID's not going away. So in my cancer group, I'm going to start a walking group. So we'll walk, you know, just to kind of build a community, and whoever feels comfortable, great. You know, they can come. If they don't feel comfortable, that's fine too. But, you know, just kind of build that community and get, you know, there's some cancer patients that I work with that are still fine with doing social distancing, like group training, smaller group training, or like one-on-one. And it's just, honestly, cancer patients need us more now than ever because they're so isolated.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. It's kind of like a pro and con, you know. It's like, I feel like people that really need more support are feeling isolated, but then at the same time, it's nice that we can slow down and we can talk to each other through social media, and then, you know, we can give ourselves a chance to heal.
Yes, absolutely. And even like you said, even if it's just hopping on FaceTime or a Zoom call, you know, I'm the event chair for Making Strides Against Breast Cancer in Palm Beach. So, you know, we have our committee meetings each month, and honestly, we are built up of, majority of us are survivors, but it's really nice to just kind of hop on that call and like see one another. It's like, what are you doing? You know,
I missed you.
Exactly. You don't
Very
realize how much you miss the socialization.
Very cool. So what events do they have coming up?
None. We aren't allowed to do anything.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a whole new world.
It is. It's like, I mean, I just heard today when I was getting my hair done that the Macy's Day Parade was canceled. I'm like, what?
Wow. What? No.
I'm like, that's like insane. That's like real stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. This is not played anymore.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. That's so exciting. Is there anything else that you wanted to let the viewers know?
Really just if you are diagnosed with breast cancer, I mean, I can do any cancer. I like to specialize in breast cancer because I can relate to that. I can't relate to somebody who's going to go through symptoms and feelings of prostate cancer or colon cancer just because I never I can be medicinal and, you know, and go through the processes that way for cancer exercise. But I work solely with breast cancer patients and survivors and caregivers. So I do have a Facebook group, my Fit and Fearless Thriving Survivors. And in there, we support one another. And then I have a separate program that I do for cancer patients. But it's more for like, you know, building the support,
Right.
they're building the community with one another, knowing they're not alone. And honestly, at the end of the day, whether you work with me or any other cancer exercise specialist, it's really important that you try to find one of us once you get released to exercise. I know you think that it's really easy to just go out there and go back to doing what you're doing, but you honestly can be doing more harm than good to your body.
Wow.
Just because your body's been through a lot, whether it's, you know, just between the surgeries and, you know, surgeries, your treatment, everything. So,
right. Is there any words of advice that you would give someone to stay strong and to keep that positive mindset?
Mindset is exactly what it is. It definitely comes down to mindset. We do focus on that in my group, but mindset is definitely a big thing. I think you just need to be very generous with yourself and tell yourself it's okay to have down days. It's okay to be down for a certain amount of time, but try each and every day to do one thing that's going to be positive and motivating, step in the right direction rather than beating yourself up. Whether it's that one phone call, whether you hop into some support group, whether it's reaching out to somebody else, another survivor, just do something that's going to make you happy and put a smile on your face.
Right. I love that. Definitely. And then what about the caregivers, the people that are around the people who are survivors or going through it? Any words of advice that you could give them?
Let them vent. Let them vent, because I know it's very hard, and that's why I like to be able to help the caregivers as well, because my own experience was my husband telling me that he can't relate to how I'm feeling and doesn't know how to help. So I hear a lot from other spouses, and I hear a lot in some other groups that I'm in and other survivors as, you know, my spouse wasn't this, my spouse didn't do that. I mean, of course, there's other ones that are like, you know, oh my God, they were fabulous, they did this and this. But they don't know what they don't know. And it's very hard for your spouse to watch their loved one go through cancer and surgery and fight and not be as strong as you normally will. So remember that us as patients and survivors, we're not the only one struggling with this. Like our loved ones are as well. I had to tell my daughter and she didn't even get it. So.
Wow. So then as far as your health now, you are okay.
3 years cancer free. Oh, actually, 22nd will be 3 years cancer free. I'm a survivor as of July 13th. So my double mastectomy was in September. So I'm just over.
Yeah. That's so exciting. Thank God. Did it run in your family or?
Nope.
Wow. Okay.
No, I do attribute it to, and my first oncologist that I fired wouldn't entertain a conversation with me. My oncologist that I have now, I had to have in vitro fertilization to have my daughter. And she was lost her twin, so I had 2 more cycles.
Oh, wow.
So I attribute my breast cancer was 90% estrogen driven, 40% progesterone driven. So I do attribute a lot of the hormones that were pumped into my body that to the breast cancer. And my oncologist says there are several studies out there, but of course, big pharma will lead you to believe that that's not the case. And I'm sure I probably signed away, 25 papers that said there's a risk. And I've been like, okay, I just want a baby. So she's a miracle baby. But, realistically, even if you just change, if you think about what you eat now, you think about the food, the hormones, and everything that's so processed, like that is going to play a part in your health history. So, try that intermittent fasting. Get going on it.
I know. I think I need to. Yeah, because I've been having, it's been a rough year in and out of the hospital for me. And I've been having a lot of flare-ups with my immune system. So I'm definitely needing to make changes.
Inflammation, and all that food that causes inflammation, that's what causes all the chronic diseases. So
lots of inflammation because I have Sjogren's and fibro. So I definitely am gonna start researching for sure.
You're gonna feel amazing.
As far as like with your body, then with like the hormones, and how does that affect you over the years in the future?
You just froze on me for a second. I didn't hear the whole question.
Okay. Sorry, my phone is acting up. So as far as like your hormones and how they change over time, is that gonna cause anything to flare back up, or how does that work with cancer survivors?
I'm at a point where I do 6-month checkups every 6 months. I refused tamoxifen, which is a drug into menopause because
Okay.
I was 45 when I was diagnosed.
Right.
My original oncologist that I fired, I refused radiation and tamoxifen because I wasn't going to put those chemicals into my body. And there's a test called an oncotype test. So my oncotype test came back really high, which meant that the likelihood of my cancer coming back was going to be high. So I said,
Wow.
you can have them. Not interested in this anymore. So that's why I refused the radiation, because it was going to be doing more harm than good to me. And tamoxifen, there was no point in it because all you were going to do is push me into menopause, but adding chemicals into my body and then have all the other side effects on top of it. No, I'm just going to let my body do what it's supposed to do and let it do its processes. I will say that, you know, it's not fun going through these hormonal changes.
Yeah. Wow. You're so inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you're surviving and you're doing well and you look amazing and you're helping others. Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing this, allowing us to get out there and help others. I appreciate it.
Yes, of course. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you, everyone who tuned in. Thank you.
Bye. Have a great day.
Bye. Take care.
You too.